I love this. I think VP are at a bit of a disadvantage. They're going to need to play fast. The team fight in BKB Timings and PSG.LGD are going to be nuts this game.
All right, well, lots of really excellent points. This is going to be a very exciting game for sure. But speaking of people who are extremely excitable, I believe we have Jenkins over with the last word.
Tidehunter Gush. Great setup for the Visage Birds in this game. You got that minus armor. You've got that Luna aura. This is a great PSG.LGD draft. I'm spitting all over the green screen. I'm sure they don't like that. Virtus Pro, they've got the Earthshaker. They've got the Bane. This is a hero that can go into team fights. He can grip. What if it gets interrupted, you might ask? Well, that's a bad question because they have a silencer. That's a global silence. That means if Bane goes in there and he tries to do something, he's going to get it off. So this game depends entirely on how the team fights are executed. Bristleback, he can pop off this game. Kyle was kind of right. He can get a Vanguard, but the game is starting. How long do I have left? Let me see. 2 seconds, yes. Okay, sending it off to Canadian guy and American guy with the cast.
Wow. Thank you, Jenkins.
Yeah.
That was something else. My goodness gracious, Trent. I've never had an intro like that before.
Yeah, people sometimes get a little nervous getting on a big stage with like the really huge teams and everything. So that can really break you out of any sort of nervousness when there's just Jenkins rambling at you. So bless his little heart, his little soul. I just hope we get a little bit more of him here. And for a long 3 games, can we hope as the night grows dark, the games get good. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a Faith Beyond message.
I cannot wait. Oh my goodness gracious. No, it's the Y message. You were so prepped. Oh my God. Can I just tell?
I hadn't looked at the pics yet.
Everybody out there, Trent was just like, he was hyped up. All our pre-work for TI, all our everything, he was just like, can't wait for the Faith Beyond message. They pick it, they put it on Y.
He's going to do it. Faith Beyond's going to do it again, guys. Trust me.
Anyways, it's going to be a great series
and then he
here.
Just gives it off to Y again.
I'm really excited for this one.
Why does he crush my hopes? You know, Jenkins is a real distraction, okay? This
You're
is not
wrong.
on me. That's all I'm saying.
That's absolutely true. So should mention, as we head out across the map right now, Virtus Pro trying to find themselves an opening, but likewise LGD all staying together across the map. The panel talked a lot about the early pressure that Virtus Pro needs to lay on, and I think the point that was made of like, if you draft to win the lanes and you lose the lanes, you're going to have a bad time. I think that was an SVG comment there.
That's pretty solid advice, you know, from a TI captain right there. You got to make sure your game plan goes all according to plan here. And for now, the plan is a bit of passivity. So everyone just kind of on their own side. And we'll just go for 2 for 2. So yeah, my disappointment is immense here. I'm not going to lie. Why on the Visage? So big differences here will be that you're not going to see that like super heavy damage dealing Visage that you might have been expecting, right? Like someone just like gets right in there, but of course throws them off a little bit during the draft. You have it for the flex pick there. Not sure what they're going to do. Of course, we can run support Tides these days. We can run support Visages. So Faith Beyond just going on the old standard reliable because they didn't really go for necessarily the best Tide counters, right? Which has, of course, been a big theme throughout the drafting as we've moved forward throughout TI.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of interesting because in a lot of ways it feels like the damage that gets done in the biggest way by Tide is in sometimes that laning stage with the minus armor Gush just running people down. So instead opting to go back over to the other side there and opting to try and beat him out in that phase of the game instead. So Kingslayer and DM, because they sent the Earthshaker up top with Kingslayer.
Yeah, of course, you're seeing in the try view there, just like, but where's the Luna? But Ame, hello, he's making his way down in that bottom lane. Now we'll show up here, so nothing wrong with getting a little bit of extra gold and XP on a Visage, that's for sure. But Luna wants to get in there right about now, so gives the taunt, roars that ferocious roar, and gets Y out of the way.
Absolutely, and you're seeing right here, yeah, this is obviously part of the reason that you're taking this Visage and support role. Still does a ton of damage out there with the nukes, the soul assumptions, the grave chills. It's all good.
Yes, to use a Suns fan line of, you know, the old man, where am I? Visage, of course, renowned for its old strength in the tri-lanes as a support, something that, you know, AUI here joining us as panelists used to do this quite a bit. And you're gaining all this damage for your soul assumption to put it back in the enemy supports. Won't save your courier, though.
Not even a little bit, and I think we'd be a little bit remiss if we weren't talking about already this mid lane here. 10-3 on the Kunkka versus the 4-1. Nothing to say, having a really good time here against GPK. You know, we watched a lot of the pubs in the lead up to TI as well, and these guys were battling out for that top spot in MMR, and GPK put on a really good performance, but you know, it should be noted that this is a little bit of a rough one at the early goings, at least, getting doubled up.
Well, considering how we did just yesterday, you know, he also knows that things can be rough for an Ember, but they can also recover.
Absolutely.
So no panic quite yet. And some voice lines being thrown out here from Save. Save again on this Bane, something that also was mentioned by the panelists, is a way that Virtus Pro play the hero that's pretty unique to them, getting that earlier farm and hoping to get into that Aghanims at some point, which is how ridiculously strong it can be.
Can be incredibly impactful as the rundown again. You take a look at this Bristleback, hasn't really been able to get any free time for his Bane to run up there and get some Ancient stacks yet. That's something that might happen a little bit later on, but that's something to watch for sure, something that can accelerate that Bristles farm quite quickly once we get to the later stages.
Yeah, meanwhile, of course, we didn't even discuss ZingQ here on the big old Dawn Breaker. Popped out really fast in the draft, something that Virtus Pro was, you know, kind of dabbling with a little. People were questioning that being there, and so LGD coming out with a little bit of a statement here to just grab it right away. And position 4 roll has the Orb of Venom, has a stick, and you can kind of see how it would mesh with the Tidehunter, much like those Weavers and Snapfires too, of just trying to be an offensive 4 to follow up on the Gush.
A couple pulls going out, back and forth across those sides, back towards mid. Again, Ember catching up a little bit, but getting a good amount of pressure there with that Tidebringer cleave from Nothing to Say. And depending upon how it goes, we'll have to go back and maybe get the Bounty Rune. Up top lane, DM has also been getting a little bit of the better end of it by Faith Beyond, who's right now sitting 21-6 on this Tidehunter. A one-on-one-ish matchup, as both the supports are kind of bouncing around which ways.
Yeah, certainly an interesting one, right? You don't really see this all too often anymore, but it comes back to what you mentioned before in terms of like the Bristle being on that side of the map. When you're playing Dire, you sort of want to be near the Ancients, and you can control this area. You can contest the Luna a little bit. And, well, speaking of tri-lanes here, we have a very sneaky TP coming out here. Not spotted, I believe, by the Vision. ZingQ trying to get a wraparound play through the trees. They don't want to scare him off quite yet on Nightfall.
Yeah, and I mean, Save is nearby, but again, if you're able to get that jump, there's a potential you could try and find some extra pressure. Yeah. But Kingslayer also making the move down bottom.
Yes! He's back. Tri-lane versus tri-lane Visage. The crowd goes wild. They love it.
Well, they might need to be able to do some extra damage there as Nightfall slowed down for the moment, seeing if they can get a couple more hits the second round, but no! In fact, it's Y who falls, and also in the mid lane. Don't look now. It ends up being a Nothing to Say solo kill on to GPK, and they're still looking for more. ZingQ in some trouble as, well, Kingslayer might have gone a bit too far there, gets punished by ZingQ. Can they do anything else here? Save, right-click, slow down. Nightfall trying to get ZingQ to quite connect.
He's good.
Yeah, dodges away through the other side and has a salve going. Could maybe make another run at it.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a Bane, my man. You're in a little bit of trouble now.
Team
gets up there with the Starbreaker, but they both end up falling at the last second. Just mayhem down bottom.
Two teams starting to get a bit of a feel for each other. There is a truce up top, of course, between Earthshaker and Ty. They're just hanging out, but that mid lane kill, now level 7 on Nothing to Say, while GPK still level 5. Got the punish on the getting 6 first, used the ulti for the kill. Ember unable to escape, and needs a friendly TP to the lane just to fill the bottle.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, and again, Ember matchup as, well, Nothing to Say. He's just going to walk in again, going for the right-click down, but with Save there, that should be enough to stop the pressure. But yeah, normally you can like go for either a Remnant away with the X combo or what have you. Not the case when you don't get 6 in time. As ZingQ turned upon by GPK, Kingslayer there, gets in range for a little bit of minus intelligence as well. A hot start on this cold night. Impressive.
And now you guys start wondering, with Faith Beyond obviously getting off this great start on the Tidehunter, leading in the CS, moving towards this tower, what's the answer from Virtus Pro? Like, do you try and stop the side? Because he's just going to keep going, and
Yeah.
DM doesn't really have a lot to do. If you try and mess them too much, you already see the rotation coming in from Y. You have an Ember, like GPK, he wants to try and get some punches when he can, but he's a little busy catching up. He's hitting neutrals right now. I feel like DM's just going to get sent to the wolves here. They are bringing everyone on LGD.
Yeah, DM, you're the sacrificial one here as they move in and finish them off.
They know that there's not a counter move here from Virtus Pro right now. Right? Like, Xingyu's just sitting mid. He's going to grab a little bit of creeps on the wave here. Maybe they can get this kill, but there is a ward that's spotting this move from safe, so I highly doubt Xingyu goes down. Right, yeah, respecting the vision. Yeah, he's good.
Keeping it cool.
Yeah, he knows exactly where save is sitting. So, of course, the best case scenario for a Tide Hunter player, take that top tower, TP bottom, and hold the wave.
I mean, I think that this is one of those situations, too. Well, Almeida, maybe they've been able to find him. I don't know if they can really do all that much. Boat goes out first, and in fact, if VP aren't careful, they might end up losing another one themselves. Wide moves himself through the river. GPK gonna throw out the Remnant back behind, but the rundown won't be enough to kill off that Ember there.
Yeah, X was coming back pretty soon there too, so.
Played it safe, he knew the limits.
He's got that timer, the internal clock that all Dota players have. Got to get that fuel going, and well, with Tide taking the bottom lane, Ame freer to farm up here, moving in towards these neutrals. And you love the team playing nearby, so he's stealing some of this farm that was lying in wait for GPK.
It's an invis that spawns bottom as everybody was stacking around that top rune spot, maybe looking for an opening there. But as you can see, another rotation up towards top to protect the Luna. But are they going to be able to get her out of there? The fissure block actually comes through. Obviously no 6 yet on save, and with that, they're not going to be able to connect for any type of a punish with these supports. They're kind of weird support duo, right? Like the Bane Silencer. It feels like they're both good individually, but kind of cover each other.
Not standard like the Visage Dawnbreaker.
Exactly, now you're reading me.
Yeah, I gotcha. I see what you're up to.
GPK. They get a little aggro there in the jungle. Luna turned upon. They move in again. Save trying to get in range. Does have enough for one. Remnant's out and looking for more. Another sleight of fist. Does GPK have it?
Force stacks.
Not
Graveskeeper.
get it. Yeah, it's really good.
Keeping you up here. So 2-1-1 build even at level 4 will keep him up. They'll be just fine. GPK still wants to hang around, see if he gets a little bit greedy coming back here, or will at least grab the next wave. Saying, you know, you got to respect my positioning here on the map, but unfortunately for him, LGD are just going to go grab some of the runes from him, sneak one right out from underneath that Bristle, who is heading towards a pretty healthy Ancient stack here. With the Vanguard, this is a free-to-farm situation.
You know, it's really interesting. Like, you're looking at the way that the map is laid out right now. They're wrapping around up on top a little bit on Ame, seeing if they can go for the punish. But it's super interesting how aggressive Virtus Pro can play, and they're still down 1,000 gold with that lead remaining about constant.
And look at this TP from Nothing to Say, trying to get aggressive here and get a catch. TP's just from the bottom outpost, hoping to find someone in their area. They have this ward, but he knows that an X play, pretty unlikely to work on GVK at this point. Sees there's a Remnant down. Gonna have to force something out from him to try and get the catch.
And I mean, you're talking about, again, that like weird combo that they've got. Like, there's nothing to punish GPK right now. This is a completely free Ember game once you get through that laning phase. And like, who's gonna try and control this guy? You got a Starbreaker or something out there? There's nothing.
Now, I know what happens to Ember players. See, they see this kind of game and they go, oh, there's no stuns. So they keep playing and they keep pushing and they go to that limit, and then suddenly there's, you know, a cleave you don't spot from a Tidebringer and a Soul Assumption and you're dead.
That's true. We'll see if it ends up happening here. Obviously, a lot of nerves potential on the big stage. There is one really big stun if they want to use it as Faith Beyond heads on in, but the Remnant away. That's going to keep him back.
That's the false sense of security because your core can't be killed.
Exactly.
So you just follow him into battle, you know, and then he abandons you like that as a support. But trying to help get some kills for GPK, and sometimes that's going to cost save there on the aggressive Bane that he plays.
And obviously that extra space has opened up a little bit of room on the map for that Bristle to clear out those Ancient stacks that you were mentioning. But at least for now, seeing Virtus Pro be definitely the ones on the aggressive end of things. Even if they're not necessarily leading into kills, they're sort of trying to control the pace of the game, it feels like.
Well, I think ever since they lost the top tower, they've really helped balance things back out. GBK is playing like this sort of that walling force you've heard about a few times on the panel today, where he's just saying like, you know, you guys stay over here and look what he's getting on the other side. His Bristle's farming, and more importantly perhaps, his Earthshaker is farming, right?
Yeah.
DM wants to get that Blink Dagger, gonna be getting it just now. Treads, double Gauntlet, and Blink. DM gonna be hitting pretty hard here, so expect the Blink, expect a smoke, and they'll have the Global Silence, of course, to cover them there too. So now the question will be, until there's a Dispel available for Faith Beyond, that this interaction between the Global Silence as well as the Kraken, right? You do not want to force that pop on Faith Beyond.
That can turn so deadly, and when you have any type of like sort of, you know, weird AoE damage that you sometimes get with the Ember, with the Bristle, whatever the case ends up being, things could start going south pretty quickly for you.
Yeah, got to be very careful with your Echoes and your Globals not to make a bad mistake there and free him from his shackles.
But GBK again moves on in, gonna try and take away some of this triangle farm. Playing aggressive on the map, stealing a bounty rune away, and XinQ, all he can do is look at him. You really don't have another option. Actually, if he's not careful, XinQ's dropping down to about half HP.
He's got 9 armor though. It's,
the birds are up.
Pretty tanky Dawnbreaker.
It's true.
Only at level 6, 1200.
Blink Dagger done.
And a smoke at the same time here from PSG.LGD.
And DM gonna blink right away. They walk forward. Oh, the X is there. Goes for the Fissure. Not gonna connect on nothing to say. The Nightmare save though from Save. Not bad at all. And actually gonna get both of the birds taken down by VP.
They used Global at the same time though, unfortunately. I don't think they had to. But, you know, double saves from the supports. And of course, you know, the one of the reasons why Virtus Pro can make this Bane look good on position 4 is that Save is so well timed with those Nightmares, right?
Oh yeah.
There must be something in the Virtus Pro org or something. I don't know who's got the cheat sheet, but Solo was the same way. You know, he always had the best Nightmare saves on this squad.
Stun comes out now. Nightfall turning the back and now turning to burn a little bit if they can make it happen. At the very least, killing off that Helm of the Dominator creep. And going immediately into the Aghanim Scepter. So this was something that was incredibly popular for a while, and then like everybody lost their mind and hated seeing Bristleback all over the place, and then it got nerfed significantly, but still seeing some value for it in this game.
There was also Viper everywhere. We had like position 5 Vipers, Vipers being like first phase banned sometimes, which then would result in like a Bristle ban. Some regions played it like way heavier than others for sure, but definitely respected as a strong hero. And of course, one of the best things was that we had the Ag Shard timing with the cheese back in the day, and that's what made it seem so strong. Now you're still going to get that Aegis. You're still going to get that Shard, and that means you're going to have that Hairball on that second Roche.
Something that can be absolutely devastating if done in the proper way. We'll have to see how it goes. For now, LGD still hanging out and gonna get gripped for the moment. XinQ in a little bit of trouble, nothing to say, moves in, wants to save his buddy, and in fact, the boat's gonna come out there. Quick catch for the kill, and GPK actually got pulled back in by that X.
Oh.
He rented it out at the wrong timing. Oh my god, and that's a huge pickoff.
That is absolutely massive. You can tell the way he's been playing, like doing an excellent job for sure, stealing a lot of this net worth away for some of these LGD heroes, trying to widen the gap there, but when you go down, it's very costly, and they're gonna punish really fast into this tower. That armlet on the Kunkka, he's hitting hard into this thing. And then Y, of course, level 8 now. A very happy Visage player. Almost level 9.
Yeah, he has had a good one, and I mean, to be honest, both of the supports for LGD they're incredibly farmed right now.
That we're level 6 on the 2 supports for Virtus Pro right now.
Well, off to a hot start. There's a reason LGD is coming in as favorites and taking down this VP team at the early outset at the very least that's been looking so good. But this is the timing that Virtus Pro have been trying to play for at least a little bit. You've got the Aghanim Scepter done for the Bristle, got the Blink, smoke up, time to go.
So much pressure again here on another Blink play from DM. Global's there and ready. Their vision ahead of themselves, though, absolutely nothing. Oh, here we go, though.
Looking for an opening here.
Maybe they can draw a fight in here if they come to try and cover, nothing to say. But
Yeah,
no one TPing quite yet.
There's a lot of heroes here. This is going to most likely be a dead nothing to say unless there's a lot of rotations, and actually bringing in one. Okay, an opportunity to turn around the Ravage to try and save. The Armor Toggle's going to keep nothing to say alive for the moment. Still taking some of that slow, steady burn down damage. but Virtus Pro not able to connect for the kill.
Now this is good. Conscious
Thank you.
decision.
Can they go for any more afterwards? They're going to lose that Dawnbreaker. Still hanging out down bottom is Faithbeyond. He TP'd into this.
Yep.
So they go in for the save onto one and end up potentially losing another
Look at
here.
his teammates. Look how far back they are.
They're not coming in for this one anymore.
They're waiting.
Oh my goodness. So much emphasis placed there on
beautiful.
keeping nothing to save alive.
So, that was so much forward thinking from Virtus Pro. They're thinking in their heads about the stack of spells available in these engagements and what they have to do. I love the play of not popping the global, right?
Yeah.
The tide comes in, you could have globaled there, then there's no Ravage, but he knew there's not going to be enough follow-up. No one's going to die from this Ravage. It's only going to delay. Sure, we don't get the one kill, but we get another kill afterwards and so much pressure on this tower. And it's going to go down just from the creeps.
Well, just like that, Virtus Pro, they hit that timing.
And of course, again, they get to hold global. They get to hold their Echo, right?
Yeah.
All because they didn't panic when that Ravage came out.
And you can see also now up to level 12 on the Earthshaker. So starting to get that level 2 ulti, some serious damage will be thrown out there by Virtus Pro if LGD offer a chance for a fight. Now, the panel talked a lot about these BKB timings. Got them pretty close here on the Luna. We're getting very close on the Kunkka. And then obviously Faithbeyond going back for that Aghanim Scepter. So this is going to be most likely the window where LGD need to delay for.
I'm seeing a theme in these later main stage games, huh? Where BKB, second item for pretty much everyone, all the core players.
It's the way to be. But for now, at least,
Bane stocks rising.
Virtus Pro.
Oh, is he in that ward down? I believe he is up top there. Yeah, they actually see save. Not going to matter, though.
Yeah,
Perhaps
DM's
it will.
there. They go in maybe with the birds. DM getting slowed down here. Yeah, there's not really a play there. It's interesting. Like, do you think that Virtus Pro need to just keep the energy and momentum going? Like, there's still this window where they're very strong.
It's a very hard read for them right now because they want to wait for the BKBs. They don't want to get caught by like some BKB fight from the Luna because they can tell that
Right.
is obviously farming very fast. Didn't have to rush the Aghanim Scepter like Nightfall. So even though he's ahead in net worth, his BKB is of course going to be quite a bit, significantly more delayed than that of the Luna.
Torrent
The fight's a little difficult.
a little bit off the mark there, and Nightfall in the meantime again clears through the wave. They're hanging out there mid and getting very close, only a 1,000 or so gold away for the Nightfall BKB.
There are some issues though, right? I mean, obviously Virtus Pro have been watching the games. They know what's happening. They understand that BKBs are going to be coming out on the earlier end in these games. You have some decent options versus BKBs. You of course have the Global Silence. If that comes out after, that could of course hamper you during your BKB and the efforts that you want to put out there. And you also have that Echo Slam. And sometimes it functions a lot like a Scythe, where it's this idea of just like, yeah, you have BKB, but I might catch you first.
Save there, stalking around this area. It almost looked like he wanted to get caught. Maybe that was sort of bluff of there's vision over here or something. But Nightmares goes for the walk away, then Nightmares again.
I feel like he's almost wants a Dawnbreaker play, right? Like Solar Guardian and just come out globally.
Bullwhip left down on the ground there, but the Dawnbreaker shows up bottom. GBK going with the grip, trying to find the kill. The Ravage is there though. And the turnaround, the attempt, GPK still going in. The global afterwards, and now Remnant's Ward, they've also got a fight on the other side. Nightfall trying to TP out. Do they have anything to control him? Yes, they do. So while the fight's going on bottom, they managed to kill off the Bristle. And the turnaround, though, looking for TM went in, but he gets punished hard.
Those are some good BKBs. That's what that was.
Wow.
That was painful. You see Echo Slam on the fight recap, and then you look at the damage, and you're just like, oh, I guess that wasn't a very good Echo there, guys. My bad.
Man. And, just a little bit of discombobulation across the map there. Some teams zigging when they should have zagged. Now a 5,000 gold lead for LGD.
I like these small rotations to cover from LGD. It's not full 5 hero panic, right? It's just 2 heroes 2P'ing down. Sure, you're using the Ravage, but it's enough that it forces out the global, and of course, you're still getting that kill in the mid lane. So yeah, certainly things going better for LGD at the moment. Not able to capture a major objective off that. They're not grabbing that Roshan or anything. But all things pointing in a good direction for them for sure. I will say, at the very least, GPK, after being a pretty active and aggressive hero here, was able to catch up quite a bit on the net worth.
And it's much needed. I mean, again, you're running on
he
that
was
side.
way down
Yeah,
for a while there.
It was a tough one.
Of course, that might just be some of his allies also faltering a little bit here, and perhaps like DM not getting as much time in the jungle, starting to roam around and still hunting for that elusive Echo Slam.
I mean, he had one earlier, to be fair. But yeah, it's a tough one right now. You see all these potential openings there, and maybe a moment where they can find LGD grouped together, but it's just not happening. LGD are delaying the game, trying to slow it down and consolidate this lead they've been building.
You can see Virtus Pro, I believe, starting to consider that next potential objective here for LGD. Should be going for the Roche. They want to D-ward around there, try and cover it, but it's hard to win the vision game versus a Visage.
Oh, that's a sneaky one. Love that ward there.
Oh, that's a real nice one.
And you can take a look here. You know, GPK, ever since that mid lane matchup has happened, he's just been on their side of the map. If you look down to the mid map there.
That's incredible.
Just absolutely playing on their side.
Few in the fountain, too.
Right. You're not wrong. But of course, this is sort of transitions now into him being a little bit behind and having to play a bit of catch up. DM, again, farming down bottom. That Celestial Hammer is going to come back to Xingqiu.
It's a very explosive game. Things kind of, very chill in between.
Right.
Everyone's kind of respecting each other, staying on their own side, and then we get into the one big blow. Part of that also coming down to some of the larger cooldowns in this game. When you're trying to play around your own Ravage, the enemy team is watching for the global silence.
Right, and this is why I feel like I really like the Virtus Pros draft in some ways, because you can see the way that Ember's supposed to go in, find the bait of the abilities to be used on him, and then gets out afterwards. And it just hasn't worked out that way yet. So you can understand the idea, but in practice, it's looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, Faith Beyond now just marching with his Aghanim Scepter. You spot a hero, you throw out the gush, and there is a BKB here for Nightfall.
Nightfall, he walks into all of them. The rest of Virtus Pro is pretty far away, but still hanging on to that BKB. This could be it. They're not going to go for the fight.
Now he pops it.
Okay, and TP out. Manages to escape from that one, and now just going to walk right into the pit for LGD.
Yeah, didn't TP to the outpost or anything. Is running right back immediately. Salves up to, has the Quicksilver Amulet, so he's running.
Taking down that Helm of the Dominator creep. LGD maybe thinking they are able to get away with a free one there, but not to be the case.
And of course that ward, as you pointed out before, still sitting there, so they see some of these little rotations around the pit, and so they're going to go for the smoke wrap. Another smoke.
Oh, this could be big if they could find him. Up on the high ground, Nightfall is on the low ground. Kingslayer's the one that gets jumped on first, potentially. Has a no global if he wants it. But they're going to go for the pull down and the kill. Dead, but has buyback. So buyback global is an opportunity here. If they want to turn it, jump forward, fish around, onto Y. Looking for the chase down. Do they have enough? They don't want to break that Kraken show, but the Ravage comes out. Going to connect onto only 2. Do they have any more afterwards? The Echo, it's not doing nearly enough. Virtus Pro have to run away in fear as LGD just won't let him go. The chase down one by one by one. LGD are just too damn good.
Things were looking so good up on the high ground there too. Like they kind of split the fight up into 2 with the Bristle down on the river, and he's waiting for his BKB, and now the BKB's even there from DM. I thought this was his chance. But the whole team not able to connect. I mean, still holding on to the Fiend's grip. Save couldn't really find the right moment. After all that, a punishing play here from LGD. And they got 5 minutes of freedom with that Aegis.
I mean, sometimes you just fight as Luna in the pit with nobody nearby. There's a billion Eclipse beams.
It's such a slow way the fight starts, right? It's just an Ag. Like, you have so much time to react from this Ag's gush, and they just kind of waddle at you. Faith Beyond's just walking in up top. They try and punish onto Y. And DM just, I mean, he's looking at this, sees 2 heroes, but BKB timing on the Ravage was good. The Eclipse comes out, but the BKBs, again, by the time he gets on course, they're just getting the BKBs out. But back in the game, they're
wrap around there, finding themselves one, but GPK able to get out the last second. Save.
Nice save.
Well done.
You can save a word there. It's good. You know, nice save.
That's there
Must
at a
be
premium.
why he plays the Bane.
Exactly. But yeah, 9,000 gold up right now for LGD with Aegis in hand on this Luna. We've seen so many times these Lunas just march down lanes and end them. But
Constellation kill here. Oh, no.
That guy's pretty good. That was a low 4-staff action.
No stuns on that pairing, unfortunately for them, so can't even find a little bit of a kill for themselves as they're going to lose their tier 2 tower up top. No way they're going to contest this Aegis BKB and Luna, who also has the Eclipse coming back, and I feel like LGD might just kind of want to run at them a little bit more here, you know? Why sit back?
It's true. I mean, they can force the issue now if they want. They can play it a little bit more safe, get that next tier of items. Like, that's the strength of this lineup right here. And in the meantime, you can just keep on making these moves as well with nothing to say. It's a lot of damage out from that Tidebringer.
Yeah, he's still deathless this game, too. Same with Ame. There's 3, 4, and 5. Just a couple of feeders.
Apparently.
As far as I can tell.
Doing okay, though. Yeah, it's a strong showing so far from LGD, as the Scotty is now going to be completed. And GPK trying to rally the troops with the chat wheel lines. This is what he's got to do. Put the team on his back. But will it work? And will it even be given an opening to make it work?
He's on possibly one of the most powerful heroes in the entire tournament in the Ember Spirit, I would say. Gives you a ton of potential. He's gone for one of the more playmaking builds with the Aghanims.
Oh, Nightfall. BKB, runaway, TP, and we'll get out of there.
At least they're probably going to have that for a while.
That's
the
true.
old BKB TP. Very, very unlikely we're going to find an answer to that anytime soon.
But in the meantime, it certainly doesn't feel great to have to use it in that fashion. It makes those fights that much more difficult. A chance, a hope, an opportunity. Lots of TPs coming in, though. The boat's going to be there afterwards. GPK finds 1 kill, but it's going to come at the cost of Save, who falls down. Meanwhile, wait, Luna left alone? Do they have a way to catch her? She still has BKB TP out. That'll keep Ame alive. So a trade of 1 for 1. I think you're happy with that if you're VP.
Checks up top. Bane's dead. Yeah, okay. Heading on home. And another Force Staff, I believe, just finished out here. So Force Staff for Y, Force Staff for Faith Beyond. These are just the coverage items, you know? Just in case the fight looks a little bit hairy. We'll get the Force Staffs out there and we'll be able to get the repositioning there for Ame and draw you deeper into the engagement. And Virtus Pro, at this point, when you're down 9K, you're kind of hoping for the quick hit and out, but that can be very difficult when you're a Bristle lineup.
That's really the problem. I mean, that's where the Ember really shines, and why I feel like if you can get GPK maybe a couple more items here, start to boost up that damage somewhat, you can find an opportunity to blow up those supports. Going in for the Shiva's Guard next, but
Faith Beyond.
Don't look now.
Can he shock him? Yeah, I know. He's good.
They're going to give him a tip there, Save, wanting to rally his team as well.
But GPK really wants to waste as much time as possible.
He has the Remnant out. Doesn't have a TP available.
No, up top team trying to capitalize on that chaos there by hopping onto Xingqiu. Xingqiu just right back up here. You know, no fear. Hold on to that tier 1.
Nothing to say. Tempting a little bit of fate there, but we'll back out afterwards.
All right, how do you find a kill as Virtus Pro?
It's so difficult. The heroes are either tanky, or they got global help, or got BKBs. The game is hard.
It's got to be DM, right? DM's got to find some plays. Now, you never want to put a game on one person, but at this point, he has got to find something with this Earthshaker, and it can be tough. The vision game is difficult for them. They're fighting into the Vistas. They're fighting into a team who's very strong when it comes to wards. Of course, you see this really deep one. I mean, I don't even remember when they were over here.
Yeah.
This thing's just down here. It spots all your couriers coming through. It spots when you're bringing smokes. The couriers tell the enemy team where you are, like this one flying right over. You know, maybe they don't have wards on other parts of the map, but they're going to see this little silencer courier and be like, oh, he's right over there. Oh, and they're actually going to see there's a gem on it now, too. So, a valuable bounty to be claimed.
If they can find the kills, and with seeing those couriers, LGD are going to make a smoke play now and head off towards the mid lane. Sabe is going to be there to separate, but DM actually blinking in. Do they run into each other here?
Okay, DM. He keeps getting the big item. He's ready for the reveal. The blink, it didn't work out. The BKB, not so hot either. But this time, the Shadow Blade. Maybe this is his time.
Does he have it? There's maybe an opportunity there. Walking in, breaking the smoke. But no, DM has already left, and Kingslayer going to fall. They've just not been able to, on Virtus Pro, hook together with all of their combo. Everybody's always off, having to push out those other side lanes.
And they're going for the sneaky play, but it's not so sneaky when you're under an Obs and a Sentry.
True.
GPK and Save down here.
I mean, this just
At least they don't know
like,
saves there, right? You know,
Right.
until
this
then it
first
wears
team,
off.
He's been playing with consistently, I feel like, on this team, so much heart.
Oh, jeez. Now DM also running through a ward here, too. They're just getting destroyed on vision.
Maybe an opportunity to find a kill. They jump in, they jump out. DM still invis. They're going to run away now with save. The run down with nothing to say is there, and the Bane will fall.
Considering the vision LGD had, yeah, you'll take that, I feel. Got yourselves one kill, you're behind, you're trading, that's going to give you the advantage. Ember also grabbing the kill, so a little bit more gold into GPK's pockets to help towards a eventual BKB for this Ember Spirit.
All right. Well, has the Aghanim Scepter done with that Maelstrom as well. And I believe that's another item coming out on the Courier, which should be the Shiva's Guard as well. So still very farmed, 11,000 gold lead. But every now and then, Virtus Pro, they're finding these pickoffs.
Oh, I see. He's gone for that instead. All right, GPK. I mean, that's the playmaking, right? You know, BKB is not going to win this game. That I can agree with for now. Just don't get hit.
There it is.
Yeah.
DM. An opportunity. Nearby. Echo to start. Half HP. Down low. Almost dead. Can they kill her? Yes. That's the quick combo that they needed with the global afterwards.
All right, GPK.
Virtus Pro.
Bump 'em up.
They feel like they found their moment, and they might have, as the chase down continues. Why? Running up to high ground, away from the Ancients. They don't have nothing to say nearby at all. And why likely to die here as he hides off on the other side, goes to stone form, comes out of it, and eventually in the dirt. Look at this, and this is right around the same time that Roche is capable of respawning.
All right, DM, he's in the game. The Earthshaker has arrived. They needed that so bad. Not even just for like this game or anything, but I feel like that's going to help his mentality so much. He's really struggled this game. Now hits the big play that can finally garner them some map control.
Just like that, you can see it's going to be a 2-minute Roche respawn. So definitely in favor of LGD with that one, as GPK will keep those lanes pushed out.
He wants this bird. Get a familiar 100 gold. Oh, that one feels good.
Very interesting, the way this game has worked out. You know, you've got on the one side LGD dodging fights constantly, only putting themselves in good positions. On the other side, Virtus Pro going for the hunt and then finding the pickoff.
But Lyrical.
Yeah.
My man. This Kunkka has a silver edge, and
Wait a
this
minute.
Luna has a silver edge.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Okay, but, you know, doesn't work very well when you don't hit your spells.
True.
There is that. But, yeah, you know, if you're trying to play behind Nightfall, because eventually he's going to have to get, you know, very involved in these engagements, it can be a bit tough playing through that break.
It is true, and it's something that's going to be concerning. Also, these items no longer sort of a burden to have to take. You nice sort of like being able to get them with the crit built in. It does only break for the 4 seconds, so they're going to have to find the kill in that duration. DM, again, the one that could break the smoke. GPK is there, the smoke breaks. DM still not visible.
Look at the wide approach here from LGD. They're so spread out.
Nightfall going to walk into all. Have that silver edge going. DM hides back behind, waiting for the opening. The fissure, it connects on a 3. The echo afterwards, a ton of damage out, and the feed script to boot. GPK runs through them all. The Ravage is out, and now the turn. Ame, he's mad, he's in control. The right clicks come through in the Glaives. They're way too much damage. Fissure one more time again. GPK, how are you living? You're not. Never mind, you're done. Just like that, LGD pull it back. It was looking so bad for a moment, and now the buyback. GPK runs back in, triple kill for him now. Wants to find that kill onto Y, won't get it. The double buyback secures a couple more pickoffs, but just mayhem in the river.
Yeah, the river runs red with everyone's blood right now. And again, this is a situation where Virtus Pro, they're very far behind, so yeah, it costs a couple buybacks, sure, not great, but you are definitely, you know, at least feeling like you can keep fighting in this game right now, whereas it was a bit rough for a second there. Oh, man, I thought that it was going to look a little bit rougher here, too, because DM coming through, watching for this Echo Slam, right? This is the play, again, gets in there before the BKBs are popped. Now, the main problem was Ame, of course, sitting there just slaying this entire time, throwing out this big damage, but they do focus the other cores down first, right? Take away that control from the Kunkka, try and get the Tide after the Ravage, and deal with Ame in the end.
Just right there, you can see how close he was, but one last round there. The Soul Assumption doing so much damage, and then of course the buyback after he got the Remnant down. GBK knew that Soul Assumption was going to kill him and made sure to get out after.
This will do wonders for GBK's net worth too, of course. You know, like, you bought back. That part's a little bit painful. Came back, got a kill though, and of course you're farming the entire map by yourself. He was the only core left standing.
Has the BKB done, and really it's the levels there as well. You can see now up to 26. Went for the 2 Sleight of Fist charges. So.
Wow, he is well ahead on the XP. The next highest, at least on the enemy team, is 24.25.
This is going to be an interesting timing. How much can he get done with this advantage that he's been able to build up? Still, again, 10K gold into the lead there of LGD, but the Remnant in. They're hungry. They want to find these kills. As they walk forward, Y going to be controlled. Faith Beyond. BKB out from DM, though. Goes invis afterwards. Broken. Oh, he's controlled. Echo done. The break on the Tidehunter, absolutely beautiful from DM. And now the grip onto Ame. They want to kill him in time. Do they have enough? No. Ame with the turn. Ame, are you kidding me? What in the hell was that? Ame lives, but that finally goes down. One last hit. Oh my goodness, save. You did it to him.
At least he finds that in the end. There's some buybacks here all around. But that's got to feel good for LGD. Finally taking a decisive victory in an engagement. Absolutely ridiculous. The Roche is up. Everyone knows there's a major contesting point in this game. And somehow able to get Ame back standing, not finished off there by that grip.
My goodness. The rum buff, I mean, everything just keeping him alive there in the end. And the Solar Guardian, all for Ame.
I mean, and the Silver Edge as well there on the Tidehunter to get him broken from the Kraken as well. It's a bit of a mess. Don't worry, in the main game, we're all good here. They're just Roshan by themselves. And Y, of course, you know, kind of pulls them in. Nightfall is basically just gaining vision. He runs in first, sees what's going on in the team fight, and that's what Save and DM are mostly trying to play around. There's that break you're looking for, the finish with the Echo Slam, and then after the Stone Form, Nightfall can go back, get the finish. But there, again, getting the grab onto the Luna. Oh, he got so low, too. 600, 100, 180 HP. Like, really?
That is
at least Save gets
unbelievable.
the big reach at the end there after the Nightmare for the kill.
That would have, I mean, if Ame lived there, that's it all. That's the game almost, it feels like. But as it stands, can feel the hype in the booth. Teams getting ready. Upper bracket is no place to mess around.
I can tell you one benefit there for Virtus Pro is that Luna doesn't have the Aegis. They grab that, they put it onto nothing to Say's Kunkka. And, you know, when you actually want to hit buildings and go high ground, you'd probably rather have it on the Luna, especially with all these 4-staffs they have, too, where they can really mess around with the initiations from Virtus Pro. Oh, I see Faith Beyond just found, was that a gem?
Might have
Run
been.
around somewhere? Okay, maybe I'm just crazy. I saw
Got
something
one
on his
on
head.
Y. But nonetheless, 27-17. And even though it's felt at various times like Virtus Pro are just on the verge of breaking it through, this net worth lead continues to go into the favor of LGD. Veteran squad giving it all out here. Aghanim Scepter done for Bane, though. We got the triple Fiend script.
Oh, I've been waiting on that for quite a while. Also, a Assault Crest there, too, for the Bristle, so just, like, gaining more and more power here for Nightfall.
Already 40 minutes into this game, and can see LGD starting to feel a little bit more bold, crossing the river, putting the pressure now on this young VP team.
They can move very confidently right now with Y having the birds and having the gem. They can check for all this vision. And I don't see any obs with them right now. So they've got one up in the dire triangle.
You can see all of Virtus Pro right now with the exception of GBK hanging out on that bottom side of the map. And nothing to say with the DD now wearing out. Is going to go for a couple quick hits there onto that tier 3 tower and go for the slow, steady, safe siege.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, just Y just throwing the birds at the tower there. Not too concerned. Looking towards a eventual scythe, maybe. High aspirations from a support player.
Take you. Walks out, finds DM. The fissure is there. But seeing and sensing the danger come in their direction, the rest of VP are going to blink and TP out.
Jeez, that's got to be 10. Please don't TP next to me. Like, is that really what you want? Seen that end too poorly several times, but they'll be all right this time. They were just trying to delay the game. They're catching waves as far away from LGD as they can. They do not want to fight into this Aegis. They'd love to get a couple picks, though. They're going to smoke into their base. They don't have the best vision. They have an idea. about where the tide is at the very least. They just saw him a moment ago, and they're going to find themselves an invis rune here too.
Well, and that one's going to be picked up by Nightfall now. As, again, the move through the river. Dire scanning, hoping to find somebody in the triangle. They're a couple of seconds early. Ame, does he dare step up high ground or just reveal himself on these creeps? And Virtus Pro recognizing this, they're going to get some vision down now. Hold this area. And LGD, are they going to tempt fate and go up there as well? Doesn't look like it. I have a feeling that they recognize where Virtus Pro are right now, and now Nightfall shows, nothing to say, knows he's going to be farming this camp, walks in, slow down from the gush, has that Aegis on nothing to say, just walks into all of them. The big cleave afterwards, oh, and the connection, that's going to be a big one on the Nightfall. There's the BKB, global silence used already, trying to turn, trying to go into this fight, but Bane caught alone. He's going to get absolutely decimated, and Virtus Pro is fighting out, go great, but they will find another. DM jumps in, they're not enough damage though. Oh, and Ame in the back lines is just going absolutely ham as they run them down one by one. Hex is out. The slow, steady burn as they find Kingslayer, and also gonna foul Nightfall. Another victory there for LGD, and now what a tremendous mountain they're gonna have to climb to pull this one back.
Ame's just picking up change on the sidewalk there, walking through TPing heroes with no BKBs as a Luna. One stun for you, one for the other. No chance of getting away. And Virtus Pro. Game one starting to slip here. You can only imagine the LG are going to start going high ground. That age is working out fantastically for them. 15 seconds left. Obviously, you know, they don't really need it at the moment. Not looking like a big, strong force here to contest from Virtus Pro. They have the sense that, you know, Bristle, they know that buyback's not back for 2 full minutes here. And this is a Luna, ladies and gentlemen. We might be looking at the end.
Oh, and just like that,
push it.
It's going to go so quickly. And yes, you mentioned no buybacks. LGD sensing a little bit of blood in the water, looking for an opening, and the Hex is there. They catch GPK. He is going to fall. Kingslayer also in trouble as they run him down. The grip is out, but isn't enough. Nothing to say. Turns forward, tries to find GPK. He's down to a quarter HP as they set their sights on taking down this Dawnbreaker first. But the real carry is in their base. The buyback comes out. LGD, they turn on to GPK, find that kill, focus down the ancient, another buyback coming this time from Gunka. But in the end, it is all too much as they turn in, take the ancient, and go up 1-0 in the series.
LGD. The team to beat at TI, everyone knew it coming in, and as we continue through the group stage, through the main event, it continues to be true.
What a great game that one was in this best-of-3 series, and again, at moments, you can see this Virtus Pro team, there were things that looked good, there were team fights that were solid, but in the end, it was consistently LGD with the lead, and they continued to grow it.
Despite it being a loss, I feel like there were some good lessons there from Virtus Pro.
Created a shield, and now it's going to be a bit better. Still liking what PSG.LGD got.
Yeah. In theory, you know, GBK will have a better matchup, but concern is, I think that your safe lane might get exposed. This Necro into the 3 position for Faith Beyond is really nice here.
All right, well, that's going to be it coming out from us over here at the draft panel. We've got a very interesting game ahead of us. And speaking of interesting, we have a very interesting person who's ready to give us the last word.
Necrophos.
Well
Ladies
said,
and gentlemen,
Jenkins.
this is the face of the man who has to make content around Herald gameplay. Everybody out there in the world, it's a rough life out there for all of us. But yeah, Necrophos.
Yes, so well put. Such an eloquent speaker, Jenkins. Thank you so much. All right, well.
Why is
was
it
I?
us? Why us? What happened?
That's a short straw for everyone at the end of the day. It's fine here.
But we're going to get into this game number 2 now. Virtus Pro backs up against the wall. Need to find something here in the very end. As already out towards the mid lane, LGD well on their way to try and secure this game number 2. I gotta say, man, I saw that Darkseer picked, just jubilation. I love this hero, it's so awesome.
Yep.
And then immediately the Oracle came out, and it was just, it's such a tough matchup.
I can actually tell you something here.
Tell me.
Now, VP currently spamming the shame line of the beloved Sir Action Slacks. He did a winner's interview with Y. Did you hear what he said? He talked
about Oracle.
He said, "Why? When's the Oracle coming out, man? It's your favorite hero." And Y's like, you know, it's like it was gifted to him. There's one hero where you see it and you go, Oracle.
Yeah.
Give me Oracle. It's Darkseer. And the reasoning for that, if you maybe haven't played so much Dota, we'll get to that after, in case there's an engagement here.
There might just be. Gotta be careful here by LGD. Roll in onto one, and GBK gets not even Faith Beyond able to take the other. And just like that, we're off to the races. And already the Ion Shell.
Yes.
There it is.
There it was, ladies and gentlemen. So you saw there was an Ion Shell on Earth Spirit. Well, I guess we'll go to step 1. Ion Shell is a spell from Darkseer. He puts this little aura on you. It's a tiny little ball, and it damages heroes right next to you. Quite a bit of damage. And, you know, that's great. Earth Spirit, he likes to roll on top of people. He stuns them, he slows them, and he just keeps hitting them. Well, you know, Oracle, he has this lovely spell called Fortune's End right there. That can take off any Ion Shells that are on the Earth Spirit. It's a great counter in lane. That means that Darkseer, of course, if he's trying to Ion Shell creeps, whatever he's trying to Ion Shell, you can remove it as Oracle.
And it's pretty much the spell that you play around throughout all the time. And then later on as well, when you're playing as the Darkseer, if you're trying to kill people, it's all magical damage. Oracle spell Fate's Edict, incredibly good at mitigating that. And then the other thing is that it also takes off Surge. So every little bit of Darkseer pretty much is countered. But we'll see if they're still going to be able to have a decent time with them. The one part that's still going to be nice is getting a back wall off later on and just the team fight presence that hero brings. But regardless, there's some other heroes.
You play this hero. Why'd they pick it?
It's great with Tiny. You know, you love to run in there.
Yeah, Surge Tiny. That's good.
Nightfall going to be enabled that much more, increasing farm potentially, increasing kill potential.
It is good with these position 4s that can top people.
Nice.
Fortune's End or not, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a great spell.
We'll see how this ends up working out for them. Is Faith Beyond going to take a nice chunk of damage there? Nightfall, Kingslayer keeping that pressure on. You know, IO has seen a pretty big increase in play recently, it feels like. Particularly in the lead up to TI, it felt like maybe there's going to be a chance that we wouldn't see all that much of it, but now getting played consistently just as this core hero, core enabling hero that lets your position 1 show up to the fight even when they're on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, and of course, we always know there are teams that are known as like the IO teams, but a little bit of a difference at this TI, as IO is going to help Nightfall try and get first blood.
Oh, not quite going to be there. Xing Q, just a little bit too quickly up that mountain.
Very nice, but yeah, we're getting IO on teams that maybe aren't necessarily like known for playing it a whole lot. So that's what's made it a much more common pick. We're also seeing it flex between like the 5 and the 4. Of course, most teams tend to have like an IO player, but you're never quite sure how the laning step's going to go. And well, if you've watched TI for a long time, like Casey and those fans where she was discussing those olden days, IO Tiny's probably very familiar to you as one of the hallmark first like true hero combos right next to like Crystal Maiden Juggernaut that you're used to in Dota.
Yeah, that's something that just works really, really well together constantly, is why going to try and pull this wave to connect it with the other. So this is one of the things that you can try and do as Oracle, is force the laning matchup, because normally what happens with Darkseer is you need to pull that wave back behind the tower, get a little bit of separation, and in the end, it is going to be a little bit of disruption. They pull the range creep away, and DM just going to have to hang on with these melee creeps here. Does get that XP a little bit shared there between him and Save, as the wave will be pulled over to the side. And now trying to pressure back Y slightly with Save on this Earth Spirit.
And Y's doing such a great job of like holding that Fortune's End, right?
Yeah.
Because if that's gone, you know, that is a 15-second cooldown. Ion Shell is only 9, so it could be some trouble, especially right now, as they actually go in on knowing that Fortune's End is down. So they're going to get half his HP. You can see how fast that can turn since he's hit level 3 on the Darkseer and has the 2 points in the Ion Shell.
potentially a good amount of pressure. And you can see all across the map right now, it's LGD coming out ahead in the laning phase. Kunkka slightly up there.
We're here again, just like last game. Gonna try and find some advantages here.
The bottle, the rundown, nothing to say, pulls back, has the torrent onto Void Spirit. GBK only level 4 right now, and Y moving in does use the dissimilate to get up to the high ground. So VP able to dodge that gank as 2 supports rotated into his lane. And that opens up some pressure for the rest of Virtus Pro to force back Faith Beyond.
GPK again, though, going to be under pressure to try and set that earlier tempo, try and get them going in this game. Needs to have a better laning stage. I think it looks a little bit better than last game, but certainly, you know, versus the Kunkka, it can be tough. He just has a lot of advantages in the laning stage.
Look at that. Punishing the Cold Embrace. As soon as they use it, they run forward with the IO Tiny, start getting a couple free pot shots off, forces Faith Beyond back again. But yeah, GPK definitely the one that they're going to need to try and enable in this. Set the tempo with that Void Spirit, set up for kills with the IO Relocate. And he has, at times, stood out as what feels like the best player, you know, potentially in the tournament. But definitely was shut down to some extent last time in the early goings, was able to make a comeback happen and put some good performances together in that game 1.
He also has a lot more health this game, right? You have a Tiny. That is a hero that, of course, can scale very well with the Shard and the Echo Saber, but can also join in early for some engagements and potentially even like TP to turn around some plays if necessary, especially once that Relocate is going to be out there from the IO. So shouldn't be as much of an isolated need. I thought GPK did a really good job doing that, controlling the middle of the map last game on the Ember. We'll see if he can do that again here to set up for the plays. Now, last game, it was level 6 to level 5, and he went down in that pretty much same exchange. This time, it will not be a solo kill for the enemy mid, and we're still looking for first blood here at 6 minutes.
Yeah, this one's been really interesting in that regard. Obviously, you've got sort of, to some extent, static lane matchups, but heroes that are very survivable. You've got a lot of healing going on. You know, on LGD's side, you've got Necro, Winter Wyvern, and Oracle, all are who are about keeping people alive. And then, you know, likewise, an Isle just keeps people stacked up constantly, as Catapult Wave is going to be pressuring mid a little bit. Looks like Y will move in, and they get the quick finish off on that one. Nothing to say, head back home. XTP comes back, full resources.
Yeah, it's so hard to pressure the resources of a Kunkka.
Oh, there it is.
Pressure on the Xing Q, and there. The first blood of game 2. Going the way of Kingslayer.
Not necessarily who would have expected it. Instead, the move through and save. Gonna go down as well. Nothing to say. Claims that one as
meanwhile,
Y also chased down. So a flurry of action. Suddenly, we're 3 kills deep.
Yeah, slow start. Now things are going to start popping off. And of course, someone who's very happy with this is probably DM, because that Oracle's long gone. He can lane a little bit more freely up top. And Ame still top of the board right now, just a little bit ahead of that Tiny. Well, as I said that, of course, you know, classic cast curse. Tiny's going to jump on over there, but DM, you know, hard to track down this hero once you have the Surge available.
Yeah, that is a very defensive, nice build to be able to go for there, as GPK again hanging out towards mid lane. LGD, do they want to make any type of moves early? I mean, you've got Boat, obviously only the 1-point next at level 7, so the rotations feel like they might be a little bit tough for Kunkka until he gets a couple more levels.
I think they're just fully ready to match any sort of aggressive plays from Virtus Pro.
Nice dodge, nothing to say, not going to get by the 8th Remnant. Now, Boat comes down, kills off Kingslayer. LGD punishing the aggression from Virtus Pro
as well.
Oh, tries to get away, but the Monkey King a bit too quick on that as Ame finds the finish on DM.
Yeah, I've just got a little bit too good of a start up here on this Monkey King. Treads and the Orb. Now it's going to become a tough place for DM to come back to. And when a Darkseer loses the ability to freely go to lane, they have some problems, right?
True.
Like, you can try and like smoke with someone and go for an Iron Shell gank, but the hero likes to be greedy. You like to play in that same zone as like a Beastmaster or a Venomancer and kind of keep pushing out that wave and getting a lot of gold. So he's just going to TP right back up here. Check for wards to see if that's what was the problem last time, but doesn't get lucky. That feels real bad. Yeah. Clearly, I only died because they had wards.
Right.
I mean, it can't be that, you know, they outskilled me.
I mean, Ame is, you know, he was reading those movements and was able to catch him pretty well on that Monkey King. Orb of Corrosion already done now, and going into the Echo Saber, so he is going to be quite stacked up.
And a classic play now. If they're paying attention on that ward, he just walked back and Ion Shelled this Void Spirit who smoked. Looks like Wide didn't quite notice though, or maybe perhaps he was trying to pop
nicely
that.
played there to break off the Aether Remnant, but it didn't matter in the end. Still goes down.
I think he knew. By the way he walked in there.
Yeah, he was very prepared for that jump. And almost was able to get himself out as well. Would have at least forced one more jump there.
Yeah, I mean, he even saw the ward get placed on the pillar, right? So, was well aware of the situation.
And this is a nice move, I think, by Virtus Pro. Rotate into that Darkseer's lane, try and force the pressure onto that Tier 1 tower, and enable your core, GPK, to move around and try and get some kills. But King's Slayer going to be caught again down bottom, not quite able to get that tether off
that was close.
to Nightfall. And also going to get the D ward. Man, LGD are just everywhere. They are so on top of each one of these moves.
I feel like they're just in their head. Like I think that they do a really good job of understanding what you need to do to come back in the game, and it's very easy for us to see this kind of plays when we have the bird's eye view. But I feel like their insight into, like, you know, what would I do if my Darkseer is having a bad lane? I would smoke to him so I can get Ion Shell and we try and kill the carry, right?
And then they catch him on the second side of it. DM tries to get out of there, drops the wall, but to no avail. Will end up falling. Every single move that Virtus Pro has made, it feels like, has been countered by LGD.
Yeah, they're getting the big blocks out. You know, they're just throwing up some lofty little shots to the basket. It's the big old slam down from LGD to get out of my face.
GPK, though, does not want to be denied this pressure. Moves down bottom, and again, LGD, they back away. They're prepped, they're ready. But this is what we saw from them, at least in the previous game, that did start to look kind of well, was invading the jungle.
It's so scary coming into this jungle, though. Like, I feel like these heroes are terrifying. A Necrophos, you try and kill him, maybe he just turns, gets you with a Scythe, right? The big heal up with the Ghost Shroud, that could go poorly. You're going to have the Rum buff on top there, too. Then there's the Winter's Curse turnaround plays. Like, I feel like Virtus Pro need to make these aggressive plays, but the punishing heroes are definitely there from LGD.
And you can see the way they want to play aggro, but in a moment, they walk forward. X is going to be used, not going to connect. Faith Beyond jumped on, but the turn! Oh, GPK, you messed around and found out. Faith Beyond.
Where's the respect for the Scythe?
It just takes him down. Roll afterwards, tries to find the backline. They catch now onto the Oracle. That's a good one to get. Toss afterwards, Magnetized doing a good amount of damage, but it's not enough. The heal comes out. And just like that, everything falling apart for VP yet again. Nightfall slowed, but they got bigger fish to fry as they're heading back towards mid to take the tower.
Catapult still just heaving away. Make it nice and easy for LGD. And, well, I mean, when you see the smoke get purchased from Y right there, too, and that's going to be flying out, you know. They're just moving, right?
Yeah.
They want to keep up this pressure.
Man, who can stop LGD? This Virtus Pro team looked like it could have been the ones, but this game number one, everything's starting to go back and forth, but in the end was constantly into the favor of LG. And now this game number two, it looks like they've got everything ready, and they're constantly prepped. Virtus Pro, they need a comeback. And thankfully, they do have Darkseer, which is a good hero for it, with the Vac Wall combos. But they need to get into those items first.
Darkseer combos, IO Tiny. Maybe there'll be something there, but they got some items first. And right now, I mean, GBK trying to look towards a straight Ags? That's going to be a ways away. That's a tall order. No Yules. I mean, pretty rough this game to go for the Yules. Doesn't really save you from a whole lot. Lots of punishes when you come down.
And again,
so that's a punish.
all
DM's
it
gone.
takes is one.
I like the friendly tips of boosting up your own team. Can I just say?
That's true.
Those are nice. We don't get enough of those.
No.
Motivate.
Right. Motivation. You know, there's
they're not as much fun though, are they?
Well, I mean,
yeah, well, that's unfortunate. It's just the reality.
I think right now, though, I mean, LGD can do what they want. Friendly tips or offensive tips. They're choosing to pump up their own team. As Nightfall gonna take these Ancients. The only core right now that's ahead of another core from LGD.
Middle tower is under attack.
And trying to get in towards that big item after the Echo Saber. Save nearby as well. They're just trying to hold on to some ground and get DM some time. Only level 8 on this Darkseer.
Yeah, he's going to need some help. He's definitely not the playmaker out of the Tri-Core right now with the start that he's had. So going to be relying on the Shadow Blade from the Tiny alongside the Relocates, as well as just the Void Spear and the nature of how that hero operates. And So GBK, knowing that he has to get involved a little bit earlier, will just straight up buy a Kaya, not going to be able to go for a bigger ticket item.
And he's going to do a little hunt in there. Sees the rotation coming from Faith Beyond. They have a Boundless Strike if they want to use it.
Got to watch that level 10 talent. Has the bonus range on the scythe.
Yeah. It's a little bit bigger than I think most people expect. Obviously, that talent being added relatively recently and can catch somebody off guard. But 3 to 8, and you can see already very much into the favor of LGD, though. Certainly Virtus Pro not out of it. All they need to do is find those first set of items, hit a power spike, try and take that perfect fight.
They have a lot of late game potential, but I do think that LGD are just, they see their timing. They're just looking for BKBs on the Kunkka as well as the Monkey King. They're going to start pushing forward. That'll all be also guarded by a pipe on this Necrophos. So magical damage going to be pretty poor versus this lineup. And look at the heroes of Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
It's like all magic, except for when Nightfall gets those big items and starts swinging.
Maybe they can catch something before that pipe comes online and starts making a difference. Thank you.
Down.
Drops it, spots it, sees him, wants to interrupt this, and, well, the Avatos will turn into a quick kill. But can they get any more afterwards? That was a bit of a freebie.
Zenkyu's crazy. You just...
They're thinking about going for more here. TP's coming in. Nightfall right there on top of him. Y is out afterwards. DM just has to run away. Gonna try and relocate him out and does manage to get the escape. So it ends up being a trade right there of a 1-for-1 with likely an IO to die.
As long as GBK stays alive up here, this is okay.
Yeah.
Right? It does get X'd, but not going to find the combo.
That's
the freebie back down bottom. All right, we're good.
Yeah, so like you said, GPK able to get out. They lose the 2 supports and still getting some farm on their heroes, but you can see LGD taking the move now to constrict the map. Try and put some pressure on the bottom tier too.
Yeah, I actually think that was kind of okay for Virtus Pro. In the state they're in, like there was 2 farming cores, time to get relocated out and just hit a bunch of creeps mid. Void Spirit's hitting creeps in the top lane. They only lose IO. Small victories here. That's the state of the game right now for Virtus Pro.
Gotta find the silver linings where you can. But 4 to 10, 16 minutes in. And Virtus Pro with the Shadow Blade done. DM getting up to level 9, so he's got 3 points up in Surge. They've got potential to catch people quickly. Rest of the team moving in afterwards. Y gonna pop the ulti. Now the turn, wall down, getting the slowdown, but they've already lost GPK. And Y just walks away. Oh man, if he gets out of here as well, nobody from LGD really is going to get punished with this, with the Wyvern already dead. Why now? Okay, the jump forward, wants to make it live. Avalanche tries to get away, but not quite going to get out.
At least they got that.
Goes
that
down.
Sentry, though, the original one's still there.
And Nightfall, he's got to run, got to hide, got to escape. DM TP's out right underneath that tree. And just like that, they managed to mostly escape. Oh,
he's
save.
got the pole, remember?
Yeah, good. And there's the roll away.
Monkey.
Nicely played. Finds. Oh no! With the winner's cards, turn around. No, they can't quite catch him. Almost got him there. But able to escape by the skin of his teeth. Save out.
Well, they've stabilized at the very least, right? Positive stuff here for Virtus Pro. They're keeping the lead relatively the same here for LGD, but it is still a lead nonetheless. And first item delivered out to DM, Detective Mech. Wants to go for that Aghanim Scepter, which kind of functions like a Midas in some regards, and that like really sometimes you'll see them like rush it, so they just like ramp their gold. But obviously in this game, they really just need the multiple ion shells and to actually try and live in these fights.
Make sure they don't get dispelled as well. So that Earth Spirit silence is going to become so key in these ones. If you can find that Oracle.
You can see it right there. It's just such a low level, right?
Yeah.
Not much that he can do. They can't burst him fast enough without their full focus.
Incredibly difficult game for Virtus Pro, but not impossible. Mech done, but he's going to need that and a little bit more to get out of this one, and didn't stand a chance. Man, they are just going one by one there. Save falls down. I'm able to get him.
That Monkey King virus gets some serious reach.
PSG.LGD. They came in as the favorites of the tournament. They haven't disappointed yet. And very close to continuing on in this upper bracket. It's carrying an upper bracket finals appearance at the very least.
They got that walk in game too. The way they're moving around this map, I see like completely fearless. Game 1, using their vision a lot more, kind of following the vision. Now they just, I don't know, they feel kind of invincible. I feel like they're kind of getting a little bit disrespectful here in their movements here, and I don't even think they're gonna get punished.
Getting everything they want.
Look at this ward just sitting under it up top right now for nothing to say. He's begging them to come fight him. It's like, I'm just gonna kill your creep waves as they leave your base. You got tier 1, you got tier 2. I don't care.
He's just up
That's
there.
fine. You don't have a lane.
It does not appear to care even a little bit. Eighth Remnant not going to connect on to nothing to say.
And this smoke, they're gonna see the Io's courier. They're not gonna kill it. They want the prize.
And Kingslayer there to break the smoke, but
they ping. They know.
Jump forward. They find the bigger target. The Tiny is there. Oh, they're going to wait. So that way he can't relocate out of there. They focus down Kingslayer.
Oh, look at Nightfall, though. He wants to make the big play. He comes back in.
A chance. Abatos dead onto one. But he might get punished for this one. Can he find his way out of there? Faith Beyond chasing. No Reaper sight, but in the end, they get the double.
Well, he had no TP. He would have had to run all the way home. I guess he was just trying to find something a little bit bigger.
An X. GPK finds the Remnant. Assimilate gets him away.
Bottom lane DM. Oh, the monkey.
He knows. Oh my God! Is that an offlaner? Excuse me? What? I know they took the armor away from Mech, but holy moly! At least the extended one that they had before, and now they find save, kill him off too. This is a thrashing in game number 2.
It's like a 600 damage boundless strike on that Darkseer. Just gone.
My goodness. Well, tough stuff indeed. As 2 to 8, or rather 7 to 18. That's how it was looking to me. Wow. That's how it felt.
Is that your odds?
Yeah.
Is that what that was? It's probably pretty accurate, I would say.
Around those range.
That might be a little bit generous. Maybe less like, 8, more like 8% sort of deal.
Right, okay,
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Hey, look at that.
7. I checked first. I cheated. I'm not going to.
Unbelievable.
Can't lie to the people,
Well, nonetheless, the way that Virtus Pro win this game, though the odds of it happening have gone down, the method remains the same. Take a big fight with Darkseer, try and get that silence onto Oracle, and of course it all starts with a smoke like this. Can they do it though?
I mean, the last time we were in a situation like this, we'd seen bigger comebacks, and we saw the comeback.
That's true.
We've had it happen here in the bracket.
AC
it
is
can be done.
They run in, find Q. That's an opening to get.
Look, he's worth 5K. Now it's an 8K lead. See, that's how it works. It's just math, guys.
Right,
it's fine.
easy.
How about
And they
this
find
one?
the second.
4,200.
That's not bad either.
Is it getting subtracted, though?
Can they get him? Why? Down low dead. BKB, there's the wall down onto both of them. Is this an opportunity here? LGD taking down the supports first, but Ame, he still hits pretty hard. GPK wanting to find an opening. BKB is out, and now there's the Yule Scepter lift up on TM. He's got to find a way out of this one. The X pulls him back in and just eviscerates him afterwards, and that is the problem. The supports, they die, but they come back pretty quick afterwards on the respawn.
Virtus Pro just trying to keep the mentality in this one, trying to keep themselves feeling good. Still spam those voice lines, slay together, win together, lose together. One of those 3 looking the most likely here for sure. As they head into the Roche pit here, the H will be claimed now from LG.
And there it is, gets picked up by Ame. As down towards mid, they will run next. GPK pushing out the lane, and save with them. If there's an opportunity to find a pickoff, that's the best bet for the 2 heroes to find it. And I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it. Like Kyle talked about it in the draft panel. He saw it as soon as it came out. That Oracle pick into Darkseer completely destroyed his game, and currently is the only core that's not really feeling like a core. It's just a tough matchup.
It's frustrating because Darkseer always wants this pairing, and so it feels like it's something that would be really good to go in that phase of the draft. When you have to pick 2 heroes in a row, you just show this strong, essentially a draft combo that's just like, yeah, I mean, you know that you're going to pick some sort of a 4 with the Darkseer anyway, so seeing it just right together, it slides in there pretty well, but if you leave that Oracle in, it's going to hurt. Now, at the same time, you can't just ban Oracle, or they're just going to ban Darkseer.
True enough. Well, we see ourselves down a good amount. They actually used the relocate there for Tiny, so just ensuring that he doesn't go down as Save pulls the next creep wave. They need to buy time.
Time to practice all of your stall tactics right now for Virtus Pro. This is the upper bracket. Of course, they'll still survive if they lose this one, and while you're never going to get better practice than this in terms of trying to delay a game that feels like it's at its worst. LGD, main stage, TI. You might as well get some experience here.
True enough.
And perhaps you can just do it.
Maybe. There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
Well, an X. There's a chance they might catch him here. Torrent. Save. Goes for the kick and roll. And the TP out. Looks like he should. Ooh, just barely get out of there. This X was back off cooldown, I believe.
Just getting there, yeah.
Look at this. They're hyping each other up.
Yeah,
Hey, look at that. You
fine.
kicked him out of there. Got away. Any delay is good.
Great. Woohoo.
There it is. That's the good vibes.
Yeah, it's the Good Vibes Squad here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. And send all your positive energy to Virtus Pro. They need it right about now.
Oh, silence. Save. Tries to go for the rollaway. That time, not quite going to happen.
All right, but while this is happening, look at the other 4 Radiant Heroes.
That's all right.
They're hitting creeps.
Pushing out all the map.
Even Io's getting all the action. Kingslayer's just like, yeah,
Is underneath a
I'm
ward
under
right
a
now.
ward near Ancients. Yeah, I'm going to save my Tiny. Gets into
In the
trouble.
meantime-
Rax? Who needs Rax? We can't fight this anyway. Take them. We don't want them.
Take down those mid-racks.
Lazy creeps can't even defend the base.
We're doing the real work down there.
Oh,
No,
you think
the
we
other
care
creeps.
about our bottom lane? Okay, yeah, maybe we do.
And they're going to show up for this
Guys,
one.
should we fight this one?
Yeah. Smoke up. Virtus Pro. What can they do here to stop this? Potential round 2. The toss-back play could be something to look for, or the rollback vacuum only onto one. Wall afterwards not doing nearly enough. They did find that Oracle, but can't quite get the kill, and just like that, why it's going to live through it. A godlike spree, and well, you turn around with the Winter's Curse, the Torrent afterwards. One by one they fall, and LGD will not be denied. This team has been hell and back. They're trying to finish this one off here. This upper bracket match, trying to get to that upper bracket finals. They turn on to GPK as well. Finish off that rack. Still one more tier 2 tower remaining. But LGD, they want to close this one out right now.
Why with the blink lines? He's on his march to another Aegis, of course.
Oh,
Remembering
yes.
his old friend who was there the
And
last
there
time.
it is. GG is called. We got 2 teams in the upper bracket finals that are looking unstoppable. And LGD is one of them.
Are they the unstoppable object or the immovable force? I hear Insania always talking about Team Secret and the wall.
That's right.
They must be the immovable force, so you know this must be the unstoppable one.
And of course, with this 2-0 victory, we've got a great matchup coming up very soon. And Virtus Pro going to have to head on back to the drawing board, figure out what they want to do as they try and continue their run as well in that lower bracket. But certainly the story here and the story for tonight for me is LGD just looks so good. They never look flustered. They feel like they have a really good mental game with how they're playing. And I'm just incredibly impressed.